Do you truly believe you know all biblical truth? Then answer me, what happened to the women who married fallen angels? The Bible speaks of the Nephilim. It mentions the angels who abandoned heaven for love, but there is a deafening silence about the fate of their mortal wives. Why? Prepare to discover secrets that have been deliberately hidden from humanity. Archangel Michael executed a justice so terrifying upon these women that even today its consequences echo in our lives. Some were transformed into eternal constellations, others wander as spirits between dimensions. But the most shocking revelation is that their spiritual bloodlines still exist among us. And there is a final truth about these descendants that may explain certain supernatural abilities in modern women. Something so disturbing that Michael sealed this truth until the very last days. Stay until the end. This revelation about our own spiritual nature could change everything you think about faith and reality. First, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so this message of faith can reach more people. Your support helps us unveil these profound mysteries. In the celestial heights, where God's light danced in eternal songs of adoration, 200 watchful angels gazed upon the earth with growing fascination. They were the Grigori, guardians assigned to observe nascent humanity, but never to interfere. Yet their angelic hearts began to burn with desires that transcended their divine nature. Semjaza, the rebellious leader, looked at his brothers with eyes blazing with determination. "Brothers," he whispered, his voice echoing like distant thunder, "for how long shall we remain mere spectators? We see the beauty of the daughters of men blossom like roses in the divine garden. And our hearts cry out for more than silent observation." The watchers gathered on Mount Hermon, where the sky bends to kiss the earth. There, under the stars that witnessed the world's creation, they made a pact that would shake the foundations of the cosmos. "We shall all swear," declared Semjaza, "and commit ourselves mutually with curses. Thus, if any of us withdraw, all shall share the same condemnation." The oath was sealed with words that cut the air like blades of fire. 200 angels, created to serve the Most High, chose rebellion. The echo of that moment still resonates today in the untold mysteries of faith, for it was the first great schism that would pave the way for unimaginable horrors. But they did not know that in the highest heavens, Archangel Michael was already unsheathing his sword of celestial justice. Like moths drawn to divine flames, the daughters of men were mysteriously led to the sacred slopes of Mount Hermon, not by chance or whim, but by a magnetic force that transcended mortal comprehension. The rebellious angels, now manifest in corporeal forms of indescribable beauty, exerted a supernatural fascination over them. Istahar, Naama, Agrat, Batmat, names that would echo through the centuries as symbols of temptation and tragedy. These women, chosen from the most beautiful of their generations, walked as if in a trance along the mountain paths, their hearts pulsating with a passion they did not fully understand. The watchers awaited them in hidden valleys, where celestial waterfalls flowed like crystal tears and flowers of non-existent species perfumed the air with fragrances of paradise. The contrast was unsettling. Beings of eternal light courting creatures of flesh and limited time in a cosmic dance of seduction that violated the very laws of creation. "Come, daughters of the earth," the angels whispered with voices sweeter than honey. "We will share with you secrets that will make you more than mortals. You will know mysteries that even the prophets dare not dream of." The women, hypnotized by the angelic presence, did not realize that each step led them further from divine protection. Mount Hermon had become a portal between two worlds, and they were the involuntary keys that would unlock doors meant to remain sealed forever. But in the heavens, a storm of divine justice began to form, and its name was Michael. Under moonlit nights that seemed like silver tears shed by the heavens, forbidden marriages were celebrated that would mark the beginning of the end of an era. These were not simple ceremonies. but cosmic rituals, where the sacred and the profane intertwined in a symphony of beauty and blasphemy. The watchful angels, now completely materialized, took the daughters of men as their wives. Azazel married the beautiful Istahar, teaching her the secrets of magic and seduction. Kokhabiel united with Naamah, revealing to her the mysteries of the stars and time. Each union was sealed with oaths that echoed through the dimensions. "By the power flowing in my celestial veins," the angels declared, "I make you more than a mortal woman. I will share with you the eternity I carry, and our children shall be as gods upon the earth." The wives, enveloped in supernatural ecstasy, did not fully comprehend the weight of the words they heard. The wedding feasts lasted entire nights, illuminated by fires that never consumed and animated by music that made the mountains dance. Angels served celestial delicacies, and the mortal brides tasted flavors that existed only in the gardens of Eden. But in every kiss exchanged, in every whispered promise, a cosmic shift was underway. Natural laws bent and broke. Angelic DNA mixed with human essence, creating something that should never exist. While the celestial lovers celebrated their forbidden union, Michael received direct orders from the throne of God. Divine patience had reached its end, and the sword of celestial justice was about to descend. From these impossible unions, the Nephilim were born, creatures that shook the very foundations of creation. They were not merely giants in stature, but cosmic aberrations that carried within them corrupted angelic power and uncontrolled human passions. Mahwai, son of Barakel, emerged from his mother's womb already 10 feet tall, his eyes glowing with celestial fire. Uriah, descendant of Semjaza, possessed strength enough to move mountains and speed that rivaled the wind. These hybrid firstborn grew in weeks, what normal humans took years to develop. The wives of the fallen angels watched, caught between fascination and horror, the unnatural growth of their children, children who devoured the equivalent of entire herds, youngsters who mastered arts of war that had not yet been invented, adolescents who conversed with demons as if they were childhood friends. The Nephilim became heroes for some, legendary warriors whose deeds filled mortals with awe, but they were also monsters who terrorized entire villages, consuming resources like divine locusts and establishing reigns of terror across the primitive earth. "Mother," Mahwai once asked his mortal progenitor, "why do other men fear us so much?" The woman, looking at her son, who already far surpassed her own height, answered with tears in her eyes, "Because, my son, you carry within you both the glory of heaven and the curse of disobedience." The Nephilim multiplied, and with them corruption spread across the earth like a celestial plague. The time had come for God to intervene, and his choice to execute divine justice was clear and terrible. Michael, the archangel of holy war. The earth itself began to groan under the weight of angelic corruption. Seasons lost their natural rhythm. Animals behaved strangely, and the blood shed by the Nephilim created scarlet rivers that flowed against the laws of physics. The planet, as a living creature, cried out for justice to the heavens. Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, and Michael, the 4 supreme archangels, presented themselves before the eternal throne of the Most High. "Lord of hosts," they declared in unison, "abomination spreads across the earth like celestial poison. The Watchers have corrupted humanity, and their descendants threaten to destroy the entire order of creation." The voice of God echoed through the dimensions like thunder shaking universes. "I have seen everything, and my patience has come to an end. The rebellious angels will know eternal prisons. The Nephilim will be swept from the face of the earth, but the wives of the fallen angels—" Here the divine voice paused, laden with a mixture of sorrow and justice. They too must face the consequences of their actions. Michael bowed respectfully. "What shall be done with them, O Eternal One?" The answer came as a divine sentence. "You, Michael, shall descend with power to execute my justice. The women who united with the rebels shall share in their curse, but not identically. Their destinies shall be sealed according to their participation in the corruption. The judgment had been decreed. Not only the watchful angels and their giant children would face divine wrath, but also the mortal women who had participated in history's greatest cosmic transgression. Archangel Michael received total authority to execute the sentence. And so, with the sword of celestial justice unsheathed and the divine mandate engraved in his angelic heart, Michael prepared to descend to earth and forever alter the fate of the wives of the fallen angels. With thunder tearing through the heavens and lightning illuminating the entire earth, Archangel Michael descended from the celestial throne, invested with absolute power to execute divine judgment. His arrival was not silent. Mountains trembled, seas churned, and every living creature felt the presence of divine justice approaching. Michael did not come alone. Angelic legions accompanied him, celestial warriors whose armor shone brighter than 1,000 suns and whose swords cut not only flesh, but spiritual essence itself. The divine army established camp in the clouds, transforming the sky into a fortress of holy war. The first task was to locate the watchful angels and their mortal wives. Michael, with vision that penetrated all veils and disguises, found them scattered across various regions of the primitive earth. Some hid in deep caverns, others in palaces built by their Nephilim children, but none escaped the piercing gaze of the supreme archangel. Semjaza, declared Michael, his voice echoing like final judgment. You and your companions shall know eternal prisons, but first you shall witness what happens to those who chose to love you. The declaration carried a terrible weight, for it implied that the suffering of the wives would be used as part of the punishment of the rebellious angels. Michael's plan was meticulous and relentless. Each wife would be judged individually, according to her degree of participation in the corruption and her resistance or acceptance of the forbidden revelations received from her angelic husbands. But when Michael began to execute divine justice upon the wives of the fallen angels, what happened was so terrible that the very heavens wept tears of compassion. When Michael began the individual judgment of the wives, a cosmic tragedy of unimaginable proportions unfolded. Each woman faced a specific destiny based on her participation in the celestial corruption, but none completely escaped the consequences of the forbidden union. Istahar, Azazel's wife, had learned enchantments and arts of seduction that corrupted entire generations. Michael, with a gaze that penetrated her soul, declared, "You taught the daughters of men vanity and lust. Your punishment shall be to eternally bear the weight of beauty that became a curse." Istahar was transformed into a celestial constellation, condemned to shine in the heavens as an eternal warning, her beauty preserved but unattainable. Naama, who had learned the secrets of the stars and time, received an even more terrifying fate. "You corrupted sacred knowledge. You shall wander between worlds as a restless spirit, conscious of all possible futures but incapable of altering any of them." Her consciousness was expanded to encompass centuries, making her an eternal witness to the suffering she helped to cause. Other wives suffered diverse metamorphoses. Some became spirits of the winds, eternally lamenting their lost loves. Others were sealed in crystals in the depths of the earth, awaiting a final judgment yet to come. But the most tragic fate was reserved for those who genuinely repented. Michael, revealing a facet of divine compassion, offered them a terrible choice. "You may have your sins forgiven, but you will never again remember your angelic loves, nor your Nephilim children. You will live as common mortals, but you will carry an inexplicable sorrow in your souls." Some accepted the merciful oblivion. Others preferred to keep their memories and face the eternal consequences. The choice they made would echo through all future generations. The divine curse that Michael executed upon the wives of the fallen angels spread like invisible waves through the entire female lineage of humanity. Not only the direct culprits suffered, but all daughters of Eve would bear subtle marks of that original cosmic transgression. "Because of what your sisters did," declared Michael with a voice laden with divine sorrow, "these women shall face special temptations with the supernatural. Some will be more susceptible to seductive spirits. Others will develop intuitions that dangerously connect them with celestial realities." Simultaneously, the archangel executed the extinction of the Nephilim. It was not a conventional battle, but an act of divine power that swept the giants from the earth like a cosmic storm. The hybrid children of the fallen angels, with all their supernatural strength, could not resist the supreme angelic authority. Mahuai, Uriah, and all their giant brethren perished in a single day. Their mortal mothers watched impotently the destruction of their supernatural children. The lament that rose from the earth that day was so intense that the very stones wept, and the rivers changed course to avoid carrying so many tears. But the spirits of the dead Nephilim did not rest. Deprived of physical bodies, they became wandering entities that roamed the earth, seeking new hosts and perpetuating corruption in more subtle ways. Michael realized that his mission was only beginning. The surviving wives carried the grief of mothers who lost divine children. Some went mad with pain, others dedicated their remaining lives to invocation rituals, desperately trying to communicate with the spirits of their dead children. And thus began an invisible war that would endure through the centuries. After the physical destruction of the Nephilim, Michael faced an even greater challenge: separating and imprisoning the souls of the dead hybrids and their angelic fathers. This operation required the archangel to descend into the depths of Sheol, into the abysses where reality and nightmare intertwine. The abyss was not simply a place, but a dimension where the laws of existence functioned differently. There, Michael found himself face to face with Semjaza, Azazel, and the other Watchers, now imprisoned in chains of eternal fire, but still conscious and furious. "You can imprison our bodies," Semjaza roared to Michael, his voice echoing like an underground volcano. "But our children are eternal. Their spirits already spread across the earth, and our wives carry our heritage in their souls." The imperturbable archangel responded with divine authority. "Your children shall know specific prisons, separated according to their degrees of corruption. Some will await final judgment in chambers of eternal ice. Others will remain conscious to witness the suffering they caused." The separation of souls was a complex process. Michael created differentiated prison dimensions. The spirits of the violent Nephilim were sealed in abysses of fire. Those who had shown some compassion were put into slumber until the day of final judgment. But a special group of hybrid souls received a different destiny. "These," declared Michael, "will remain conscious and close to the earth. They will be eternal observers, witnessing how their corruption affects future generations. Perhaps thus they will develop genuine repentance." During this process, Michael discovered something disturbing. Some of the wives of the fallen angels still maintained spiritual connections with their imprisoned husbands. These links needed to be severed, but doing so would imply irreversible consequences for the women involved. To prevent the knowledge of angelic corruption from spreading through future generations, Michael executed a cosmic erasure operation that would forever alter the relationship between humanity and divine memory. Utilizing celestial seals of unimaginable power, the archangel created a veil of forgetfulness that covered the earth like a spiritual mist. Humanity's collective memory was filtered, removing specific details about the fallen angels and their giant children, leaving only distorted echoes that would transform into myths and legends. "Future generations," declared Michael as he etched symbols of power into the invisible dimensions, "will remember only shadows of this truth. They will speak of giants and ancient heroes, but they will not comprehend the celestial origin of the corruption." But the seal had an intentional flaw. Michael, following specific divine orders, left memory keys hidden in sacred texts and prophetic revelations. Thus, when the appropriate time came in the last days, the complete truth could be restored. The wives of the fallen angels were especially affected by this process. Those who chose to keep their memories found that no one else believed their stories. They became solitary witnesses to a truth the world had forgotten. Some of these women tried to preserve the knowledge through secret traditions, rituals, and hidden writings. Others succumbed to the madness of carrying truths they could not share. Michael observed everything with a mixture of satisfaction and sorrow. Divine justice had been executed, but the price had been high. The earth was protected from direct corruption, but the wandering spirits of the Nephilim continued to roam, seeking ways to influence humanity. The war between light and darkness had only changed its nature. Although the bodies of the Nephilim had been destroyed and their souls imprisoned, something unexpected happened. Spiritual fragments of the hybrids managed to escape Michael's seal, initiating an invisible war that would endure through the millennia. These wandering spirits did not possess the full strength of their originals, but maintained malicious intelligence and a thirst for revenge against humanity that witnessed their fall. They roamed the earth like winds of corruption, seeking human hosts susceptible to their influence. Michael quickly perceived this flaw in his seal. "Eternal Father," he cried to the heavens, "the fragments have escaped. How should I proceed?" The divine answer was clear, but terrible. "Let them wander, Michael. They shall be part of humanity's final trial, but establish permanent guardians among men." The Archangel then initiated a secret program of angelic protection, assigning lesser angels to constantly watch the earth and intervene when necessary. These guardian angels would work in secret, especially protecting the descendant lineages of the women who genuinely repented. But the spirits of the Nephilim developed their own strategies. They discovered that they could more easily influence women who carried genetic memories of the wives of the fallen angels. Thus, throughout history, women with inexplicable supernatural abilities began to appear, some saintly, others dangerously seductive. The spiritual daughters of the original wives became preferential targets of this invisible war. Some resisted heroically, becoming saints and prophetesses. Others succumbed, transforming into sorceresses and seductresses who spread corruption. Michael continued his vigil, but knew that this war would only end with the final judgment. Until then, the battle between the fragments of the Nephilim and the guardian angels would continue in the shadows of human history. In the final moments of his earthly mission, Archangel Michael received a final revelation that would forever change the destiny of the lineages affected by angelic corruption, a prophecy that would encompass all future generations until the end of time. Michael echoed the voice of the Most High through the dimensions. "A time will come when the seals will be broken and the truth will be revealed again. On that day, the daughters of women who carry the heritage of corruption will have one last opportunity for redemption." The Archangel understood the magnitude of this revelation. "Lord, when will this time be?" "When the signs of the last days multiply," the divine voice responded, "and men again seek communication with angels. At that moment, you will return to definitively separate the seeds of light from the seeds of darkness." Michael inscribed this final prophecy into the spiritual dimensions, sealing it with symbols that could only be understood when the appropriate time arrived. The message was clear. The story of the wives of the fallen angels had not ended. It had merely been suspended. The spiritual descendants of those women, the revelation continued, will face a final choice. They can follow the path of their ancestors and again seek union with rebellious angels, or they can choose redemption through the divine sacrifice that will come. Before returning to the heavens, Michael left hidden signs on earth, symbols and prophecies that would serve as warnings for future generations. He also established lineages of protection, families who would carry the mission of guarding the truth and protecting the innocent. But the most terrible question remained unanswered. What really happened to the wives of the fallen angels? Michael knew, but sealed the knowledge until the day humanity was prepared to face the complete truth. And so, Archangel Michael's mission was fulfilled. Or was it just the first act of a cosmic drama still unfolding? The wives of the fallen angels disappeared from official history, but did they truly cease to exist? Their spiritual bloodlines continue among us, and the signs of the last days multiply. Some say that on full moon nights it is still possible to hear the lament of the women who loved angels. Others claim that certain supernatural abilities in modern women are echoes of that ancestral corruption. And if Michael returns to complete his mission, would you be prepared for the final truth? The next revelation could change everything we think we know about our own spiritual nature. Remain vigilant, for the invisible war continues, and you may be more important in this story than you imagine. If this revelation has touched your heart and awakened your thirst for celestial truths, make sure to like and subscribe now. This knowledge needs to reach more people in these last days, and your support is fundamental so we can continue revealing these sealed mysteries. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next prophetic revelations that will shake your faith. Look now at the screen. A video will appear that will shock you. Click and prepare to discover truths that can change your spiritual life forever. Remember, you are not here by chance. God brought you to this revelation for a purpose. Continue in faith, remain vigilant, and may Archangel Michael protect your spiritual journey until the next revelation.